Like, there is nobody's ever kind of done anything important or made an impact on the world, and it hasn't been just an extremely difficult thing to do. And so you just have to, keep that in mind, and the longer you stay at it, the smarter you get, the more knowledgeable you get. So I just give you an example. I started a cloud computing company in 1999, and I thought, and actually if you go back in the literature, the company I started, LabCloud, is the one that created the name cloud computing. Like, there was no cloud computing until that happened. And that company really didn't work at all because it was too early. It was 1999. And it wasn't, the economics weren't right. There were all kinds of reasons, but it was too early to start a cloud computing company. And I had to change it into a different kind of a company, which was a software company that would help you run your own cloud. But by not quitting and by not giving up on it, eventually, that company worked, and it was the knowledge that I learned from failing at cloud computing that enabled me to kind of succeed at the software that made it build it, and that. So, just long story short, but that company, I started it in 1999. It went way up in value. We went public. It crashed in value. The stock went to 35 cents a share, which was half the cash we had in the bank. So it was worth like $29 million, and I had $60 million in the bank. And then over the next 5 years, and I just didn't, everybody was like, "You're an idiot. You're going out of business. You're the dumbest person in the world. You're burning cash in the parking lot." The Red Herring wrote that. Business Week called my IPO the IPO from hell. And all that kind of stuff happened, and that I felt like quitting every day. But I stayed at it, and long story short, but 5 years later, we sold it to Hewlett-Packard for $1.6 billion. And that's now I've got the custom brightly, making it feel some type of way. Got to go. Got some Rich Homie Khan fans.
So let me. You've used this word now a couple of times. You said, "I failed at this. I failed at that." I keep hearing it, and for many of us who have spent time both in elementary, middle, or high schools, or college for that matter, we understood the word failure to mean that something really, really bad was either happening or going to happen. How would you suggest people deal with the issue of failure, since it seems like it's so much a natural part of effort, a natural part of trying things?
Well, it's where you focus. So the problem, and I see this all the time in kind of young CEOs, is they're like, "Oh my God, I'm failing." And I'm like, well, yeah, because like the mean on this test is like 15. It's not 80. You're not going to get an A. Nobody gets an A at starting a business. You get a D minus, and you're in the game, baby. The key is to not run completely out of cash. If you cannot run completely out of cash, you're still playing. And that's something, and that's the way you have to think about it. You always have to think about your next move, not what happened. And then you always have to think for yourself. Like, the thing that causes people to fail in business more than anything else is you let other people think for you. I don't think that idea is right. I don't think, like I wouldn't buy that. I would, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't think you can do it. Nobody's going to join that. There's so many people being so negative all the time on it. I mean, and even like my friends would be like, "What's up with the stock price, Ben? Why is it so low? I bought the stock, but like I don't think you're going to make it." And this, I'm just like, wow, like what did I do to get all this negativity? But you can't let that affect your mindset. You have to find the answer. You've got to find the product that people want and get it to them, and that's all that ends up mattering in the end. Like, can you build something that people want? And then, can you price it in a way that you can make money off it? And if you can do that, you're going to be fine, and if not, you're going to die. And there is no other thing. So that's what you have to focus on, and there will be plenty of misses along the way. Like, nobody gets it right on the first shot. That's just, even the most successful, and I've talked to some of the most successful people there are, it's not like I go out there and like I succeed and I score 100 points. That never, ever, ever happens that way. It's too complicated.
when I saw the hands go up, it reminded me of places where you've gone and folks look around and they say, you know what, I want to be like. And in basketball, we have a name that fills in that gap. In music,